Welcome everybody to another episode of MDafterDark. I am Andre Tater. Here individually today as Michael Hernan is at a Bucks game. So let's get to it. A video of his experience at Pfizer's Forum will be up later today. Or tomorrow, I guess. It's around midnight right now, so yeah. I'm going to start today individually with the NBA action. Our first game was the Cavs and the Pistons. The Pistons got a win against the number one seed Cavaliers today. They were led by Tim Hardaway Jr. with 32 points and 7 3-pointers. And then Ausar Thompson and Jalen Duren both had a double-double. And Malik Beasley had 19 points. And Dennis Schroeder had a double-double. 3 players in the Pistons with double-doubles today. And then for the Cavs, they were led by Donovan Mitchell with 38 points, and then Darius Garland with 21, DeAndre Hunter with 11, and Dean Wade with 10. And then overall, both teams shot around 47%. Cavs shot 37% from three. Pistons shot 44%, and then the Pistons shot better with 85% from the free throw line compared to 76. Pistons win the rebounding battle 43-41, and a mid-game in the turnover department, 14 turnovers for the Cavs, 13 for the Pistons. So that you can't really say that affected the game very much. Our next game is the Clippers and the Nets. I won't go very in-depth in this game as the Nets got routed today. Kawhi Leonard had 31, and Ivica Zubac had a double-double, 21 and 12, and James Harden had 17. And Patty Mills, number 88 off the bench, had 14. Former Brooklyn Net. The Nets were led by Keon Johnson with 13. Drew Timme, Gonzaga legend, had a double-double. Wow. 11 points, 10 rebounds. And then Cameron Johnson had 11 points. Everybody else had less than 10. I did not know Drew Timme made his NBA debut. Wow, that is awesome. I'm just gonna say the Clippers stats because that's all that needs to be said. Clippers had 55% from the field, 51% from the three-point line, 89% from the free throw line. They won the rebounding battle and they won the turnover battle. Yeah, they dominated. I'm not even saying the stats for the Nets because it was sad. Our next game is a tank bowl between the Toronto Raptors and the Charlotte Hornets. The Raptors got the win, 108-97. Manuel Quickley had 19 and 9. Jamal Shed with 17 points, and they were led by Jakob Poeltl with 24 points and 12 rebounds, and then Scotty Barnes had 18, 6 and 6. The Hornets were led by Mark Williams with a double-double at 18 and 12. Daquan Jeffries had 15, KJ Simpson with 14. Tidjane Salaün, the 6th overall pick, had 12 points and 14 rebounds, and then Miles Bridges had 11 points. It seems as LaMelo Ball did not play in this game. Overall, both teams shot below 45% from the field. Both teams shot 66.7% from the free throw line at 10 for 15. Both teams shot below 35% from the three-point line. 31.8 for the Raptors, 29% for the Hornets. Hornets actually dominated the rebounding battle, 56-45, but they turned the ball over 11 more times. That's surprising. The Raptors only giving up 6 turnovers? That surprises me. Our next game, the game that Michael was at, was the Bucks and the Knicks. The New York Knicks got the win over the Milwaukee Bucks, 116-107. They were led by Mikal Bridges with 26 and 3, and then DeLon Wright had 12, Landry Shamet with 13. Mitchell Robinson off the bench had 10 rebounds. Karl-Anthony Towns a double-double, 14 and 10. Excuse me, Mikal Bridges was not the leading scorer. OG Anunoby was, 31 points. And then Josh Hart with an almost triple-double, 13 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. The Bucks were led by Giannis Antetokounmpo with 30 points and 9 rebounds. Kyle Kuzma and Ryan Rollins both chipped in 20 points, and Gary Trent Jr. had 14. Honestly, it's kind of a sad game for Brook Lopez. Only 7 points when he's the second scorer. Michael gets mad that Andre Jackson doesn't play. He didn't even play a minute last night. I mean, there's something up with the Bucks, man. But the Bucks shot better from the not the free throw line, the 3-point line, and normally field goals with 54 and 39% to 48 and 36%. But they shot a horrendous 63% from the free throw line, and the Knicks took advantage at 87% from the free throw line. The Knicks also dominated the Bucks on the boards. Only 3 offensive rebounds for the Bucks. Oof. And they had double the turnovers. The Knicks had 8, the Bucks had 16. I could tell why the Bucks lost. And it was only 116 to 107. Our next game is the Timberwolves and the Suns. Timberwolves get a big win to stay in the win column, 124 to 109. And then Julius Randle led the way with 25 points, 8 assists. Jaden McDaniels with 16 points. Rudy Gobert, 17 and 13. Mike Conley with 13. Anthony Edwards with 20. And Dante DiVincenzo with 13. All around good game for the Timberwolves. And then the Suns were led by KD with 23 points. Colin Gillespie, wow, 22 points. Royce O'Neal with 21. And then Devin Booker had a really off game. 39 minutes, only 10 points. Hoofda. I mean, overall, both teams shot above 50% from the field. They both shot 48% from 3. But the Timberwolves just got more shots up. And the offensive rebounds, they dominated the rebounding battle 43 to 34 with 4 more offensive rebounds. And then the Timberwolves turned the ball over 11 times compared to the Suns' 16. So, yeah. I will give all my opinions at the end of this because since I'm doing this by myself, I can look at all the stats either way. Our next game, the Warriors beat the Pelicans on the road, 111 to 95. Jimmy Butler with a double-double, 18 and 10 for the Warriors. Stephen Curry, 23 points. Brandon Podziemski with 10. Buddy Hield with 11. Jonathan Kuminga with 16. And then Quentin Post with 15. For the Pelicans, they were led by Bruce Brown with 18 points. Yves Missi had a 12-10 double-double. Jose Alvarado with 10. Elfrid Payton only had 4 points, but 10 assists. He's been a demon assisting. He was out of the league for like 5 years. And then Keon Brooks and Jeremiah Robinson-Earl both had 11 points. Excuse me. As well as Karlo Modkovic had 10. And CJ McCollum did not play for the Pelicans, but I don't really think that would have changed much considering they lost by 16. But you never know. Overall, horrible game for shooting. Both teams shot below. They shot 41 and 40 for the Warriors and the Pelicans. They both, 13 for 55 for the Warriors from 3, and then 7 for 23 for the Pelicans. Both teams shot sub 80% from the free throw line. And then the rebounding battle went to the Warriors at 50 to 46. Both teams had almost 15 offensive rebounds. And the turnover battle, Warriors won 10 to 15. Yeah. And then our final NBA game of the day, a blowout. Won't really go over it. The Nuggets beat the Jazz 129 to 93. Oof. Yeah. Michael Porter Jr. with 20. Jokic with a double-double, 27 and 14. Christian Braun with 16 points. Russell Westbrook was 17 off the bench. Wait. Nope, he started because Jalen Brunson. Jamal Murray. I had a brain fart. Jamal Murray didn't play. So he started. Or maybe he didn't. I have no idea. Then Zeke Naji and DeAndre Jordan goes from like 17 rebounds against the Bulls to 1. And 11 points though, so. And then Zeke Naji with 10. Whew. And then the Jazz. I mean, just bad. Kyle Filipowski with a double-double, 18 and 13. Oscar Tshiebwe, 10 in rebounds. Colin Sexton led the team in points with 20 in only 23 minutes. And then Keontae George, who's finally coming into his own today. I bet the under on him a lot, and it would always hit. And I haven't since. I failed once, and I'm like, oh no, now he's going to start doing good. And I was exactly right. And then Bryce Sensabaugh 12 and Johnny Juzang with 10. Overall, I'm just going to say the Nuggets stats because the Jazz is really bad. Except for the rebounds. Oh wow, both teams turned the ball over 18-7. The Nuggets turned the ball over more. How did they win by 36? Well, this is why. Because they shot 57% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, and 78% from free throw. And honestly, I'm going to say the Jazz stats because I'll just compare them. 35% from the field to the 57, 17% compared to the 37%, and then the 83% to the 78. So, hey, they won at something, I guess. Well, actually, it's just bad. That's so bad. But overall, I'll just give my overview of each game. Pistons and Cavs, very good game for Tim Hardaway. I think that him and Malik Beasley coming to Detroit was a very good thing. They needed a lot of shooting outside of Cade Cunningham, and when you have Jalen Duren down there just snagging rebounds, it's gonna be a good time. Cavs, they've been struggling lately. I don't think they are as good as as everybody thinks. I mean, they probably still have the best chance. I think a team in the West is winning the finals, either way. Our next game was the Clippers and the Nets. Nets just tanking. I mean, Drew Timmy getting his first NBA play was pretty good. It might not be. I don't know for sure, but I know that's the first time he's gotten significant minutes. And the Clippers, they are going to be possibly an Eastern Conference Finals team. Not 100% sure. They do have the talent, though. That team gels together really well. They have a very good combination of youth athleticism and, like, old, I guess, veteran leadership. But, yeah. Our next game, Raptors and Hornets. I'm not even going to say anything about that. I mean, I don't even think R.J. Barrett even played for the Raptors. I mean, Scotty Barnes played okay. Yeah, R.J. Barrett didn't even play. Emmanuel Quickly has been playing very good for them, though. Knicks and Bucks. Knicks got a big win on the road. The Bucks have been slumping too. I mean, it doesn't help that they've been injured, but it's just like I don't know what to say. The Bucks probably will be first round exits if they keep playing like this. And then the Knicks, they get a big win, but I don't see them going very far either. I mean, if once they get Jalen Brunson back, they could be dangerous, but I don't know what his timetable is for return. And then our next game was the Timberwolves and Suns. I mean, Suns are just slumping. They're pretty sure they're outside of a play-in game at the moment. But Timberwolves get a big one to stay at the top of the West. Anthony Edwards hasn't been playing his best ball lately. And then Devin Booker playing 39 minutes with 10 points. Horrendous. Our next game, Warriors and Pelicans. Not much to say there. The Pelicans, I mean, they're just tanking. And the Warriors, they've been slumping too. I mean, every team in the NBA has bad cold streaks. And then the Jazz, the Nuggets just dominated. The Jazz are horrible. Nuggets are probably one of the teams that are going to win the finals. So yeah, our next game, or games, let's see here. Let's go. Let's do the NCAA games. What? Oh, there we go. Okay. So, the Sweet 16 is done. So we had 4 games yesterday. Our first game, the 2 seed Michigan State Spartans beat the number 6 seed Ole Miss Rebels. Ole Miss led the game for a while, but Michigan State clawed their way back. They were led by Jace Richardson, a lottery pick in the NBA draft. He had 20. Cohen Carr with 15, and he had a crazy dunk yesterday. So yeah, Jaden Atkins with 13, and Trey Holloman with 10. And then for the Ole Miss Rebels, they were led by Sean Padula with 24 points. I'm going to be honest, I am not familiar with that name. Just give or take, I know a lot about professional sports and some college, but Michael knows a lot about college and mid on the professional. Other than hockey, he knows way more on that than I do, if people can't tell for how many people watch these videos. So give or take, listen to me on some stuff. I know what I'm talking about. Other than that, Matthew Murrell had 13 points and Malik Dia had 11. Jamil Brakefield with 9 and 7 as well. So yeah, Michigan State just dominated. No, they didn't. What am I saying? Michigan State shot 50% to the Ole Miss 40%. Wow, they shot 12 more free throws. You think people are going to be complaining about that? Overall, both teams struggled from the three-point line, 35 to 33%. And then free throw, Ole Miss shot 9 for 10. Michigan State shot 19 for 22. Ole Miss won the rebounding battle by 4 and turned the ball over 2 less times. Our next game, Kentucky and Tennessee. Excuse me, sorry. Tennessee got the win, 78 to 65. Zakai Ziegler led the way with 18 and 10, a double-double. Chaz Lanier, 17 points, and then Jordan Gainey was 16. And then for the Kentucky Wildcats, Lamont Butler, the transfer from SDSU, he had 18, and then Amari Williams had 14, and Otega Owe with 13. Overall, both teams shot above 49% from the field, and then the Kentucky shot 40% from 3 compared to the 26% of Tennessee, but 69% from the free throw line to the 75% sucks. And then Tennessee also dominated the offensive rebounding department and the rebound department in total. 37 offensive rebounds would be crazy. 37 total rebounds, 16 offensive rebounds, and 8 turnovers compared to Kentucky's 11. Sorry. Our next game, Auburn. A little slight, easy rolling win, I guess you could say, over Michigan, 78 to 60. Were both of those games 78-65? They were. Wow, that's weird. Auburn was led by Johnny Broom. They're not the SEC. Hold on, I don't want to look stupid. Auburn. Are they in the SEC? They are the SEC, so I wasn't looking stupid. I could have just said that right away. The SEC Player of the Year, Johnny Broom with 22 points, 16 rebounds. Denver Jones with 20 points, and Todd Pettiford, the freshman, with 20 points. He's going to be a baller. That's all I'm going to say. The Michigan Wolverines were led by Danny Wolf, with 20 points. Vladislav Golden with 10 and 9. Namari Burnett with 10. And then everybody else basically didn't score. Overall, honestly, I'm just going to say this. Poor shooting. Less than 40% from the field for both teams. Less than 30% from 3 for both teams. Less than 80% from the free throw line at both teams. But where the game gets interesting is how Auburn destroyed the rebounds. And I'm going to say, hold on, how many? No. Dylan Cardwell. I don't know if he started this game, but he had 9 rebounds. He is their other center, other than Johnny Broom, if you'd say Johnny Broom's a center. He helped them beat Creighton, because Creighton was probably their biggest battle up to this. But yeah, that's why they won the rebounding battle. Johnny Broom and Dylan Cardwell, what's his name? Cardwell, they dominated. And then they both had 15 turnovers. So yeah. And then my game of the day, just because of how it ended, the Houston Cougars beat the Purdue Boilermakers 62 to 60. So that means there's one Big Ten team left? Yeah. Oof. Wait, is that the right math? Let's check. Yeah, there's one Big Ten team left. Michigan State. And guess who predicted that? Mr. Tanner. Alright. Our final game of the NCAA was the Houston Cougars defeating the Purdue Boilermakers 62 to 60. They were led by Milos Uzan with 22 points and Emmanuel Sharp with 17. LJ Cryer struggled. Hold on, let me pull up the video. Actually, no, I could just, since I'm doing this by myself and I'm kind of speeding through it, I could give myself extra time to look up more necessary stats. I'm more of a fast-paced person, but, I want to see. Number 7 scored it. Milos Uzan was the game who scored. Wait, no, it's not. That ain't it. Oh, yeah, it is. But Kelvin Sampson with an absolute gem of an inbound play yesterday. I just watched a video about it. Milos Uzan gets the game-winning bucket to send them into the Elite Eight. And then Purdue was led by Fletcher Lawyer with 16, Braden Smith had 15 assists. Damn. And then Trey Kaufman run with 14 points. He struggled. Camden Heide with 9. Overall, Houston shot 37% to the Purdue 40 3-point line. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. 3-point line, 29% for Purdue to the 39% of Houston. 10 for 12 for Purdue from the free throw line to the 7 of 11. So not a lot of free throws shot, but Houston dominated the rebounds, 38 total rebounds to 29, and then 16 offensive rebounds, and both teams had 7 turnovers. Overall, I'll repeat some of the stuff I think. Ole Miss versus Michigan State, good game, 3-point game. None of the games were really blowouts. They shouldn't be, especially in the Sweet 16. But Michigan State, man, I like the team. Who do they play now? Let's check. Oh, they play Auburn. Yeah, they're done. But I like Michigan State. I think their run to the Elite Eight was special. Yeah, Ole Miss put up a good fight. I'm not familiar with a lot of their players, so I can't give you indescript detail on who's good and blah blah blah. So yeah, Kentucky and Tennessee, I'm familiar more with both of these teams. Kentucky, I mean, Lamont Butler transferred there, struggled, but as the tournament kept going on, he got better and better. I think he'll be going to the NBA, if I'm being honest, with the amount of good shots that he's had his career. I think he'll be fine. I liked the guy from Arkansas too, the dude that transferred from FAU. I can't remember his name right now, but those were both really good players, and I think they both have a good chance of making the NBA. And then Tennessee's the Kai Ziegler and what's his name, chat? I don't want to click on the thing, so I have to go all the way back again. It's right on the tip of my. I gotta click it. No, I'm not. I don't know what his name is. Chaz Lanier. Those two are going to be a dominant duo. They play Houston, though. But Houston almost just lost to Purdue. So I think Tennessee has the edge there. But I like Houston's play at the end. Michigan versus Auburn. Michigan, they had a good dynamic duo at the bigs. They're both going to go to the league, I would assume. But Auburn, I mean, Todd Pettiford has really gotten to his own ever since he had to replace Mazzara during the round of 32 against Creighton. But yeah, I think if he can be on and Denver Jones can stay on and Johnny Broome can just keep locking up the other team's interior, that's where I think Johnny Broome is going to lead them to a national championship. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. I mean, Auburn is a really damn good team. And then Houston and Purdue, very bad shooting. But the rebounds, Houston dominated. But it's like, I don't know. I don't think either of those teams were really championship contenders, but it was just a really good play, especially when LJ Cryer had 5 points. But, yeah, that's all I got. Oh, sorry. There is drink in here. I didn't know. Stay hydrated, kids. So, yeah, our matchups for today, or tomorrow. What time is it? Oh, yeah, it's past midnight. Florida against number 3 Texas Tech, and then Duke versus Alabama. So yeah, sweet. Let's move on. All right. Random number. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun here now since I got plenty of time. Random number generator. Okay, if it's 1, we do the MLB. If it's 2, we do the NHL. All right, we're going to the NHL. NHL games today. Oh boy. What is this slate looking like? Oh. Okay, only 6 games today. Or yesterday, I guess. Our first game, the Carolina Hurricanes at 44-24 defeated the Montreal Canadiens 33-30. The Hurricanes were led by Jackson Blake, Sebastian Aho, Taylor Hall, pretty sure he played for the Blackhawks, and Andrei Svechnikov. Svechnikov. I don't even know. And then assisting for the Hurricanes was Jackson Blake as well, with 2 assists. Seth Jarvis with 2 assists. Jordan Martinook with an assist, and that's it. Frederick Anderson had a great night in the net for the Hurricanes with 15 save attempts to 14 saves with 1 goal allowed. But a .933 save percentage is pretty damn good. I would say myself. Only 15 saves. The defense on the Hurricanes must have been hella good. The lone goal for the Canadians was scored by Josh Anderson, assisted by Christian Dvorak and Brendan Gallagher. Sam Montembault, that's a goofy name, has struggled kind of. 21 to 23, or 21 saves to 24 attempts with 3 goals allowed, 875 save percentage. So I assume that the final goal scored by the Hurricanes would be a open net goal. Our next game was a nail biter in overtime as the Florida Panthers get a big win to stay at the top of the conference over Utah Hockey Club. The Panthers So yeah, it did end in overtime. There was not a shootout. Sam Bennett scored both goals, and he was assisted by Alexander Barkov, Gustav Forsling, Brad Marchand. I'm actually familiar with that name, so that's fun. And Mackie Samosketch. What? I understand that hockey has a lot of foreigners, but what are some of these names? Like the next guy on the list is Uvis Balinskis. Who names their kid that? Tobias Bjornfot. What? But yeah, Mackie Samoskevich. Oh, Samoskevich. Yo, just get rid of what I just said. Editor, which is Andre, get rid of it. And then in net, Serbi Bobrovsky, 13 for 14 in saves, 1 goal allowed, 92.8 save percentage. And then for the Utah Hockey Club, their lone goal scored by Sean Dursey and was a single assist by Barrett Hayton. And then Karol Vejmelka actually had a pretty good night, other than the losing goal in overtime. He had 30 saves, 32 attempts with 2 goals allowed, and 39. That'd be really bad. 93.8% save percentage. So yeah, low scoring game. That's usually what you'd think would happen in a hockey game. And then our next game is the game after this one is the opposite. It's like a football score. The Winnipeg Jets shut out the New Jersey Devils. Winnipeg is crazy. I know that. The Jets were led by Alex Iafallo with 2 goals, Mark Shafili with a goal, and Nikolaj Ehlers. Nope, he had an assist. David Gustafson had a goal. The assist went to Alex. Wait, what? No, I said it right. Kyle Connor had 2 assists. Mark Shafili had an assist, as well as Morgan Barron, Nikolaj Ehlers, Josh Morrissey, and Brandon Tanev. And then a amazing night for Connor Hellenbuck. I think that's how you say it. It's Buck, but with a Y in between the U and the C. He was a perfect 24 for 24 tonight. So a wonderful performance by the goalie for the Winnipeg Jets. And then, hey, the Devils were led by Dawson Mercer with 5 shots on goal. And Jake Allen, finally a normal name that I can pronounce. I guess. He struggled. 78.9% save percentage. 15 for 19 with 4 goals allowed. Oof. Like I said, I can't really go in depth with hockey. I am not super familiar with all of this. But, what the? Oh, I'm going backwards. Oh well. Our next game, the football score game. The Columbus Blue Jackets win in a shootout, 7-6 over the Vancouver Canucks. The Blue Jackets were led by Boone Jenner with 2 goals. And Dante Fabro, Kirill Markenko had a goal. Denton Mateychuk with a goal, and Matthew Oliver had a goal. And then all of the assists, 2 for Dante Fabro, 1 for Boone Jenner, Krill Mark. The rest of these guys have 1 other than Dante Fabro. Boone Jenner, Kirill Markchuk. I'm stumped. Denton Mateychuk, Matthew Oliver, Justin Danforth, Adam Fantilli, Eric Gudbranson, Sean Monahan, Cole Sillinger, and Zach Werenski all had a goal or an assist. Excuse me. Elvis Merzlinkins had 37 save attempts to 31 saves and 6 goals allowed. How do you win with that stat line and an 83% save percentage? The Canucks were led by Atu Ratti with 2 goals, Brock Bozer with a goal, Jake DeBrusk with a goal, Linus Carlson with a goal, and Tyler Myers with a goal. 3 assists for Kiefer Sherwood and P.S. Suter, an assist for Brock Bozer, 2 for Quinn Hughes, 2 for Dakota Joshua. Why does bro got 2 first names? Not actually, though. That's his first and last name, but like, bro. And then Connor Garland with 1 R had an assist. And then in a losing effort, I guess he did give up the shootout goal, but he was 32 for 38 with 6 goals allowed and an 84.2% field or save percentage. 84% field goal percentage would be pretty damn good if my computer will let me scroll up. All right, our next game was the Rangers and the Anaheim Ducks with another overtime battle. The Ducks were led by Leo Carlson with 1 goal and 3 assists. Cutter Gauthier with a goal and an assist. Allen Zellweger had 1 goal and an assist. Alex Killorn with a goal. Mason McTavish with a goal, and then an assist, 2 assists from Jackson Lacombe, an assist from Pavel Mintyukov. Hell yeah. And then Trevor Zegras with a goal, or an assist. Sorry. And then Lucas Dostal, midday behind in the net. 26 for 30 with 4 goals allowed and an 86.7% field goal. I keep saying field goal. I'm too used to basketball. Save percentage. And then for the Rangers, they were led by Adam Fox, Alexis Lafreniere, JT Miller, and Mika Zibanejad, with who all had goals. Adam Fox, Alexis Lafreniere, and JT Miller also had an assist. Artemi Panarin had 2 assists. Will Coyle had an assist. Keandre Miller had an assist, and that's it. Overall, this is, my bad. I did the Rangers first instead of Anaheim. Oh, well. Igor Shesterkin had 28 for 33 in the net, 5 goals allowed in the loss, and an 84.8% field. Oh, if I say field goal percent one more time, I'm quitting. Save percentage. And the Ducks were led by Leo Carlson. Wait. Why do I... Have we done this game already? No, have we? No, we did all those ones. Why do I... No, I'm finding the other cutter. There was another cutter on here somewhere. I swear, unless I'm tripping. I swear we already did one with Cutter Gauthier. These names aren't familiar. Whatever, who cares? Leo Carlson had a goal and 3 assists. Cutter Gauthier with a goal and an assist. Jackson Lacombe with 2 assists. Allen Zellweger with... Wait. Oh, I'm stupid. I did do the Ducks. Wow, I'm just going to say I'm tired. Wow, this is a very mid-episode. But yeah, the Ducks got the win. And then our last game, the Vegas Golden Knights defeated the Chicago Blackhawks 5-3. The Golden Knights were led by Victor Olofsson with 2 goals. Mark Stone, Pavel Dorofeyev had a goal, and Brett Howden with a goal. William Karlsson had 3 assists. Mark Stone with an assist. Ivan Barbashev with an assist. Jack Eichel with an assist. Noah Hannafin with an assist. Keegan Colasar with an assist. And Riley Smith with an assist. And then in net, Aiden Hill went 18 for 21 with 3 goals allowed and an 85.7 save percentage. And then our final team. What? The Blackhawks were led by Ryan Donato with a hat trick, and their only 3 goals scored. Ilya Mikheyev had 2 assists. Connor Bedard, Ethan Del Mastro, Wyatt Kaiser, and Joe Veleno all had assists. And then Spencer Knight struggled in the net, 17 for 21 with 4 goals allowed and an 809 or 80.9 save percentage. So yeah, the only game I can really say is the Blackhawks game, because that's the only team I'm super familiar with. It was actually Blackhawks were winning after the second period, but Ryan Donato having 3 goals, I never thought I'd see a hat trick out of him. So yeah, I mean, he didn't even score in the third period. So yeah, pretty good slate. Blue Jackets and Canucks 7-6. I'm not familiar with hockey, but the Jets, I know that's a good win for them. The Devils needed to get a win to stay in the playoff race. Panthers stay at the top. Hurricanes beat the Canadians. Blue Jackets, and they're a little bit worse than the Canucks, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so that helps them out to make the playoffs. And then the Ducks and the Rangers, both teams are mid, so. And the Golden Knights, they're obviously going to stay at the top because they beat the Blackhawks. And then finally, the MLB. Oh, Lord. What is going on? Bro. We got only 9 games. All right, our first game, the Rockies lost to the Rays on opening day for each team, 3-2. The Rays were led by Cameron Misner, who had a walk-off home run in the 9th, obviously. Jose Caballero with an RBI, and Jonathan Aranda with an RBI. This team is mid on mid. Christopher Morel, bro, they took him out for a pinch hitter because he sucked so bad. We got Kyle Tucker for basically Christopher Morel. I wonder, and then Ryan Pepiot. Oh, Hunter Biggie did pitch. Ryan Pepiot, I think he would get the win here, considering maybe not. But yeah, he had 6 innings and 8 strikeouts. The Rockies were led by Ryan McMahon with 3 hits and an RBI, and then Nick Martini with a I read it wrong. Ezekiel Tovar and Kyle Farmer both had RBIs, and then Ryan McMahon had 3 hits and a walk, and Nick Martini had a walk. Overall, so yeah, Kyle Freeland, 0 earned runs in 7 innings. Tyler Kinley would get the loss because he gave up 2 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning. And then Angel Cheville and Victor Vodnik, both really young guys for the Rockies. They both didn't give up. Oh, no, Victor Vodnik gave up the walk-off, so he would get the loss. My fault. And then our next game is the Orioles and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays get a dominant win after losing like 12-2. The Blue Jays were led by Anthony Santander with 2 hits. No home runs for the Blue Jays. But Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero, Nathan Lukes, and Alan Roden with RBIs. And then Ernie Clement had 2 RBIs in his pinch hit appearance. And then Kevin Gausman went 6 innings with 2 earned runs. And yeah, so I would assume he got the win. Again, the way I'm looking at it, I could probably go on ESPN. This would probably make it easier. No, not schedule. Not schedule. I don't know what's going on outside my house at like 12, but okay, so the win for the Rays went to Pete Fairbanks and Victor Vodnik got the loss. The win for the Blue Jays went to Kevin Gausman. Charlie Morton got the loss. I'll just switch tabs. Adley Rutschman led the way for the Blue Jays with 2 walks and a run, but then Tyler O'Neill had an RBI and Jackson Holliday had an RBI and a home run. Yeah, like I said, Charlie Morton got the loss. Albert Suarez had 5 hits and an earned run in his 2 2/3. And yeah, so let's go back now. And then our next game is the Pirates and the Marlins. Pirates bounced back with a win. They were led by O'Neill Cruz, who had a home run and 2 RBIs. Andrew McCutcheon with an RBI and Adam Frazier with an RBI. And then Mitch Keller gets the win. He went 6 innings with only 1 earned run. And then David Bednar bounces back with a save. So that's good for him. Not for Cubs fans, though. Xavier Edwards led the way with 2 hits for the Marlins. Otto Lopez also had a hit with a home run and 2 RBIs. Graham Pauley with an RBI. Oh, man. I'm sorry. Connor Gillespie took the loss for the Marlins. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 hits. Damn. Our next game is the Red Sox and the Rangers. Rangers bounced back to get their first win of the season. They were led by Jake Berger, Josh Young, and then Jonah Heim, who had 2 RBIs and 2 home runs. So pretty good. And then Jack Leiter, very solid start. 5 hits in 5 innings with 1 earned run and 4 strikeouts. And then for the Red Sox, they were led by Willier Abreu. If he keeps hitting like this and the Red Sox lose, they're going to trade him at the deadline. But yeah, he'll be a very sought after player. He had an RBI, and then Tanner Houck got the loss, and Jack Leiter got the win, and then Luke Jackson with the save for the Rangers. Yeah, Tanner Houck 5 2/3 innings with 4 earned runs. And then our next game is the Mets and the Astros. The Mets won this game. They were led by Juan Soto with his first home run on a Mets uniform, Mark Vientos, and Jesse Winker, who both had RBIs. Tyler McGill led the way, 5 innings pitched and only 1 earned run. And then the Astros, their lone run was scored by Yordan Alvarez, or I guess he knocked in the lone run. And then Hunter Brown gave up 4 hits in 6 innings with 2 earned runs and 7 strikeouts. So yeah, the win went to Tyler McGill, loss went to Hunter Brown, and why can't I? Edwin Diaz. Sorry, Alexis Diaz is his brother. So yeah, our next game, the Padres lost again to the Braves lost again to the Padres 4-3. Padres were led by Fernando Tatis, who opened the game with a home run, and Jake Cronenworth, who had a home run. Xander Bogaerts and Martin Maldonado both also had RBIs. And then the Braves were led by Marcell Ozuna with 2 RBIs, and then Jared Kelenic with an RBI. Reynaldo Lopez got the loss with 9 hits and 3 earned runs. And then the Padres were led by Dylan Cease, who gave up 3 earned runs, but then actually they're led by the bullpen, who gave up 1 hit after his bad start, and they shut it down all the rest of the way. So yeah, the win went to Jason Adam, the loss went to Dylan Lee, and Robert Suarez got a second save in 2 days. Our next game, let's move over to. Can we skip this game, please? Please. The Cubs fall to 1-3 as they lose 8-1 to the Diamondbacks. Yay! Diamondbacks were led by Eugenio Suarez with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Alec Thomas, Perdomo, Pavin Smith, and Josh Naylor all had RBIs. Merrill Kelly went 5 1/3 with only 1 earned run, and the bullpen shut them down. Shelby Miller with 3 strikeouts in 2 innings, former Cub. Awesome. Yeah. And the Cubs were led by Peaker Armstrong. Yay! He had his 1 RBI. And then Jameson Tyone struggled. And Brad Keller, who made the team out of... I mean, I guess they just put him in because why not? 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 3 strikeouts. At least you didn't walk anybody. It's like, what is your first game of the year? If people are hitting off of you, that's fine. But like, if I see... The Cubs had 0 walks given up this game. That's not a confidence booster, but it's positive. But Brad Keller, no walks, 4 hits and 2 earned runs. I'm not mad at that, especially with a guy that has been struggling in his recent years and is just trying to bounce back. So yeah, the win goes to Merrill Kelly, loss goes to Jameson Tyone. Hoofda. And then our second to last game is the Athletics dominating not even the Oakland Athletics, the Athletics dominated Seattle 7-0. Sorry. Brent Rooker had a 2-run home run. Luis Arias had a home run, and Max Muncy, the prospect, that might be his first home run. I think that's his first home run. Let's look. Yeah, that's his first home run. Congrats to Max Muncy for his first career home run. So yeah, and then yeah, their pitcher Jeffrey Springs, 6 innings, 0 earned runs and 9 strikeouts, dominated the Mariners. Yeah, Mariners only had 5 hits in total, and Luis Castillo struggled, and the bullpen struggled. That's just an oofda. So yeah, Jeffrey Springs gets the win, Luis Castillo gets the loss. Yeah, that's an L for them. Well, Athletics will be mid this year, but they'll be better than they have in past years. And our final game in the MLB slate, sadly, the Dodgers won 8-5 on a walk-off home run in the 10th by Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts led the way with 4 RBIs and 2 home runs. Shohei Ohtani had a hit. Glaze is crazy. Freddie Freeman with a home run and 2 RBIs. And other than that, Will Smith had an RBI. Pitch hitting for Austin Barnes. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 10 strikeouts in 5 innings with 2 earned runs. And then Tanner Scott gave up his first run, and Luis Garcia gave up a run. He actually gave up 2 because he was the pitcher at extras, but the second run doesn't count because it was automatically put on base. And then for the Tigers, they were led by Dylan Dingler. 3 RBIs and a home run. Gleyber Torres with a home run. And they didn't give anybody else an RBI because, it was either, I'm pretty sure, that makes no sense though. They give the player, okay, I guess it does. They give the player an RBI if they score in, no, I'm stupid. I just missed it. Manuel Margot, sorry. I'm so bad at this. Manuel Margot had an RBI in, a pinch hit for Kerry Carpenter. Overall, Jack Flaherty went 5 2/3 with 2 earned runs and 5 strikeouts, and then Bo Brisky struggled in the 10th, 4 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning. Oofda. But yeah, that's it. I don't have any picks, and I'm not logged in on, or I guess I'll do a recap of the MLB. Rays and Rockies. Rockies suck. Rays are always going to manage to get some weird wins. Blue Jays going to win over the Orioles. I see a lot of people overrating the Blue Jays just because of Vlad's final year. I don't like that. Orioles struggled every other day in baseball. Pirates get their first win after blowing a lead against the Marlins. Marlins could be better than you think. They have a lot of young guys, but they probably won't be. They're going to be super bad. Pirates, if their pitching staff can stay consistent and their hitters can stop selling, that'd be nice. And then the Rangers got to win. Rangers, I had them winning their division. So yeah, keep winning, please. And the Red Sox, people overrating the Red Sox. They are not going to win the division. The Mets and the Astros. Mets going to win over the Astros. I don't know. I don't like the Mets. They're overrated. And the Astros, they're okay. I mean, they have youth now in Cam Smith, so that's cool. Padres beat the Braves. I mean, Padres could fight for the division, but the Dodgers are probably just too good. The Braves, I like the Braves, but they're playing a good team in the Padres. So yeah, Cubs, they just suck. I hate the Cubs. And the Diamondbacks, they're going to probably be one of the best teams to not make the playoffs. I see a lot of people have them in their playoffs, but I don't. I think the Padres and the Dodgers are too good. And the Braves in the other division take up the wild card spot. Athletics going to win over the Mariners. If the Mariners' pitching staff struggles, they're not going to win. Their batters suck, but their pitching staff is amazing. The Athletics, they have some good youth, like Max Muncy, Lawrence Butler. I like those guys. But they get the 7-0 win. And the Dodgers, they pay a lot of money. And then Spencer Torkelson. Let's see if he kept up his consistent game today. Or yesterday, whatever. 2 hits? So yeah. What is he batting? He's batting .500 still through 2 games. That's pretty damn good. But yeah, I don't know. I covered everything. I gave my opinions. Yeah, I mean, the Elite Eight is up next. That's gonna be fun. And the picks, I'm gonna have to post a TikTok pick because I'm not giving any out here. So yeah, anyways, that'll be all for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.